Jain children, welcome to the chemistry class. Today we start our 6th chapter, thermodynamics. The branch of science which deals with the different forms of energy and the quantitative relationship between them are known as thermodynamics. The term is derived from two Greek words. Thermos means heat and dynamics means flow. Thermodynamics deals with the energy changes within the system. A system refers to that part of the universe in which observations are made. For example, tea in the teapot is the system. The part of the universe other than system is known as its surrounding. Here, the room in which the teapot is kept is known as the surrounding. The system and the surrounding together constitute the universe. The part that separates the system from the surrounding is known as boundary. Here, the wall of the teapot is the boundary. The boundary may be real or imaginary. Next, types of system. Systems are mainly classified into three types. First one, open system. Second one, closed system. Third one is an isolated system. First one is an open system. If a system is said to be open, if it can exchange both matter and energy with its surrounding. For example, hot tea taken in an open glass. Tea becomes cooled after some time because due to the exchange of energy to the surrounding, and some amount of tea is exchanged to the surrounding in the form of vapor. This is an example for open system. Next one, closed system. A system which permits the exchange of energy, not matter, to the surrounding is known as closed system. For example, if tea is kept in a closed steel pot, it takes some time to cool down. So, exchange of energy takes place here but not matter because it is a closed container. Such a system is known as closed system. The third one is isolated system. A system that can exchange neither energy nor matter to the surrounding is called isolated system. For example, hot tea in a thermos flask. Here, there is no exchange of matter and energy takes place between system and surrounding. Next, macroscopic properties of the system. A system is said to be macroscopic when it consists of a large number of molecules or atoms or ions. Properties associated with the macroscopic system is known as macroscopic properties. Example, pressure, volume, temperature, mass, etc. Macroscopic properties are mainly classified into two types: extensive properties and intensive properties. Extensive properties means the properties of the system whose value depends upon the amount of matter or substance present in the system. Example, mass, volume, heat capacity, etc. For example, 200 ml of water takes up more volume compared to 100 ml of water. Second one, intensive properties. These are properties whose value is independent on the amount of substance present in the system. Example, temperature, pressure, freezing point, boiling point, etc. For example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, whatever be the amount of water is taken in the container. Next one, state functions or state variables. The first state of system is known as initial state and the last state means after the change is called final state. The properties whose values depends on the initial and final state of the system is known as state variables or state functions. They are independent of the manner in which the change is brought about and only depends on the initial and final state of the system. Next, types of thermodynamic processes. First one, isothermal process. If a process is taking place at constant temperature is said to be isothermal. Here delta T is equal to 0. Next one is adiabatic process. If no heat enters or leaves the system during the process, it is said to be adiabatic. Here Q is equal to 0. Next, reversible process. A process is carried out very slowly and can be reversed. Such processes are known as reversible process. And next one, irreversible process means these processes are carried out rapidly and this cannot be reversed. Such processes are known as irreversible processes. Next, internal energy of a system. It is a sum of all forms of energy associated with a system. It is represented by the capital letter U. It is an extensive property and a state function. This system changes from the initial state A to final state B, then change in internal energy delta U is equal to UB minus UA. Internal energy U of a system may change when work is done on or by the system, heat passes into or out of the system, matter enters or leaves the system. Then first law of thermodynamics. The law states that the energy of an isolated system is a constant or energy can neither be created nor destroyed, although it can be converted from one form to another. Mathematical expression for first law of thermodynamics. Consider a system whose internal energy is U1, which is the initial value. When some amount of heat Q is applied to it, then the internal energy increases to U1 plus Q. When W work is also done on the system and the internal energy changes to U2, then the final internal energy U2 is equal to here U1 plus Q plus W. Then U terms are taken together, then we get U2 minus U1 is equal to Q plus W. U2 minus U1 can be written as delta U, change in internal energy. Final internal energy minus initial internal energy, that is change in internal energy delta U is equal to Q plus W. This is the mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. We previously studied the internal energy U of a system may change when some quantity of heat passes into or out of the system. When the quantity of heat passes into the system, then the sign of Q becomes positive. That means heat given to the system, Q is positive. But heat is given out by the system, Q is negative. Therefore, heat given to the system, U increases. That means internal energy increases. Then Q become positive. But when heat given out by the system, then internal energy U decreases, then Q become negative. Next, work done in an isothermal process. First, work done in an isothermal irreversible process. W is equal to minus P delta V, where delta V is the change in volume, which is equal to V final minus V initial, and P is the external pressure. Work done for an isothermal reversible process, W reversible is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log Vf by Vi, where Vf is the final volume, Vi is the initial volume, N is the number of moles, R is the gas constant, T is the temperature. Next term is free expansion. Expansion of a gas in vacuum is called a free expansion. Here, the pressure P is equal to 0 in vacuum. So, the work done W is equal to 0 and Q and delta U also 0. Next thermodynamic term is enthalpy, denoted by the symbol capital letter H. It is the heat content of a system. Mathematically, enthalpy is equal to U plus PV. This is a state function and also an extensive property. So, total heat content of the system is known as enthalpy, which is equal to U plus PV. Here, H is equal to U plus PV, where H is the heat content of the system. Every substance has a definite value of enthalpy. Then, change in enthalpy delta H is equal to enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactants. HP minus HR, where HP is the enthalpy of product and HR is the enthalpy of reactant. Then we know that H is equal to U plus PV. For finite changes at constant pressure, we can write delta H is equal to delta U plus delta into PV. When P is equal to a constant, then we can write delta H is equal to delta U plus P into delta V. Then we know delta U is equal to Q plus W according to first law of thermodynamics. But work done for irreversible process W is equal to minus P delta V. Substitute the value of W in delta U. Then we get delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V. Then this value of delta U substitute in the value of delta H. Then we get delta H is equal to Q minus P delta V plus P delta V. Then minus P delta V and plus P delta V become cancelled. Then we get delta H is equal to QP. That is, the enthalpy change delta H is equal to the quantity of heat absorbed by a system at constant pressure QP. Then sign of delta H. Delta H is negative for exothermic reactions and delta H is positive for endothermic reactions. Next, relationship between delta H and delta U. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta nRT, where delta H is the change in enthalpy, delta U is the change in internal energy, delta Ng is the number of moles of gaseous product minus the number of moles of gaseous reactants. R is the gas constant, T is the temperature. So, here delta Ng is the change in number of moles. The reactants and products are gases. Next, sign of delta H. For exothermic process, these are heat releasing processes. So, delta H become negative. For exothermic process, delta H become negative, and for endothermic process, these are processes which absorb energy or heat. So, delta H become positive. For endothermic process, delta H become positive.